Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Divorce Happens, the show where we support you before, during, and after divorce with education, inspiration, and a little bit of laughter. Because as you know, divorce happens and then you start fresh. We're here back, I want to say with one of our regular experts, because you're here all the time, which I love, Lisa Lisser. Lisa, can you give us a quick intro for anybody new listening?
Sure. So I'm Lisa Lisser. My business is LZL Coaching. I am a certified divorce coach, a certified BEH2O co-parenting coach. And I got into this work because it is so powerful for me to walk through the process of divorce and give people the support that I didn't have in my own divorce. And I have learned things and changed and grown since my divorce 10 years ago that have really revised my image of what a divorce can be and how we can do it better. Because we're talking about families, and families are not legal systems. So divorce is more than a legal process. It's a family process.
Yes, I love that so much. So much. So one of the questions I get a lot, Lisa, is people will come to me in that beginning phase, right? Or maybe they've just told a few friends and they'll say, oh, my friends, they told me to get a shark lawyer or they told me to this, that. And I'm so close to writing an article that's called, Please Stop Telling Your Friends to Hire a Shark Lawyer First, because that's just not the process that works. It just isn't. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the clarity that you need to have with divorce and that comes with divorce. So you talk a lot about divorce clarity. It's part of your brand.
Yeah.
What is that? What is divorce clarity?
Okay, so let's start on the other side. We all know there's divorce fog. There's divorce overwhelm. We don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we do know. We don't know how to clear away the noise from what's important. And divorce clarity is the process that we need to allow ourselves to go through to get to what's most important. What are my values here? How can my values ground me so that I can clear away the noise and I can be aligned with what's most important to me in this process? So that's like the big picture of what is divorce clarity. And when I work with people going through divorce, I start by grounding them in their values. Because when we get clear about what's important to us, we get clear about a lot of things. And it's hard because when we're going through the process, we probably don't even think to ask, what are my values? Or how do I want to show up in this divorce? Or who do I want to be for my kids?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm thinking how difficult it is to even access that part of yourself that can identify, right, what these values are or what these things are. So how is the work that you do with clients support people in figuring that out at this journey?
So when I start working with the client, they very often want to jump in to what do I have to do? What do I have to do first? Everything is urgent. Everything is fast. And what is the biggest piece of clarity is giving them permission to pause. I call it the pause for clarity. So if we pause, we can ask ourselves, where am I right now? What am I feeling? And then we get curious and we ask ourselves, okay, what do I need to resolve that feeling? What is the fear? And what's underneath the fear?
Mm.
So clarity starts with a pause.
Huh.
Because when we are triggered, when our amygdala, that part of the brain that says danger, 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 when that's triggered, we have four choices. We fight, we run, we fawn, or we freeze. So fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Yep.
And those are our defense mechanisms that served us in the wild, but they may not serve us when we're trying to get clear on what's most important. So the
Mhm.
pause, when we're feeling that fear, when we're, where am I right now? Okay, even asking that question gives a space to pause.
Yeah. I have a silly question for you, Lisa, but does this work with somebody in that just heartbroken, totally spiraling phase? Like, because I talk to so many friends and women who are like just distraught and would be listening to this going, well, there's no way I can pause with Lisa.
Well, and when I started coaching, I thought that. I'm like, people don't have time to pause. People don't want to figure out who they are when they're at their best, especially when they're at their worst, because they feel like, how can I ever be at my best? Now,
Yeah.
this moment, which I've never experienced before. So, yeah, it feels impossible, but that's where the coach comes in. If you are working with a coach and she says to you, let's just take a breath, that's it. Start with a breath.
Yeah.
And that pause is going to reset. It resets the nervous system
Yeah.
and it gives you room to start asking questions,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm calling it strategic curiosity. Like
I love that.
we're afraid to ask questions in divorce. I know I was. Like I thought I was supposed to know everything, so I didn't ask questions about the things I didn't know. And that was probably my greatest mistake
Yeah. Yeah.
because asking strategic questions is the next step after the pause.
I love that. And so take us down the journey. How can asking those strategic questions ultimately make the entire divorce process work in your favor a little bit more?
Okay, so we start with the pause and then we ask the questions, where am I right now? Am I in fear? Am I in scarcity? Am I worried that I won't have a roof over my head? Okay, let's breathe. What do I need to know to answer those questions? And so if we don't know what we need to know, I don't know. I've never been here before. I never did this. I've never gotten divorced, right? That's totally natural. And then we take another breath and we say, okay, I, I'm worried I'm going to lose my house. What do I need to know? I need to know that I will have a safe space. And how do I get there? Who might have answers to that question?
Right.
Do I need to talk to a financial advisor? Do I need to talk to a real estate specialist? What about a mortgage person? Like, I never even thought during my process I should talk to a divorce lending professional, but there's such a thing as a certified divorce lending professional.
Yeah.
So now you start writing your questions like, how will I get a mortgage? Okay, who could answer that question? You know, and will I qualify? Well, what are your finances? I don't know. Okay.
Right.
Who can help you clear up some questions about your finances? So, those are the kinds of strategically curious questions I want my clients to make space to ask.
Yeah. I love that. And I'm also thinking too, I'm assuming this goes also for like, how do I just get through the day? Right?
Yeah.
Questions like that.
And how do I just get through the day? But actually, what does it mean to me to get through the day?
Uh, uh-huh,
Like,
uh-huh.
what are the small steps on the list? Like, okay, the kids are at school. What's next? All right. Who has after school activities? Who is in a carpool? Did I make that call? Do I have to see my therapist today? Do I have to go to the
Right.
dentist? You know, And what one phone call can I make that will answer some of my questions?
Yeah.
So we just make a list. And sometimes making a list is hard, but it's a
Yeah.
start. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, one of the reasons I love divorce coaches and the work that you do and so many amazing coaches out there is that it really does bridge the gap between like the personal, figuring all that stuff out and also like the hype team building and the planning and because there's nobody to hold your hand through this. And even if you have a friend or a sister who went through this, it's not the same thing. You really need a coach that's going to literally be your coach and say, this is the plan of how we're going to get from here to tomorrow and what we're going to do. And it's those little steps that build your confidence back up.
Right. And what we talked about in the beginning, you're like that friend who tells you hire the shark attorney. Okay, so you're afraid and you want to do what this person who seems to know says. But what if you pause and ask the question, what does it mean to hire a shark attorney? Like that makes me afraid.
Mm,
What am I afraid of? What does a shark do that another attorney doesn't do?
right.
Right? And when you start to like ask the questions, maybe even what does this person want in my divorce?
Hmm.
Right? Do they want to protect me? Are they worried that I can't protect myself? Like, what are the questions? And we never give ourselves time to ask questions. And that's the biggest gift that taking the pause before you respond, before you react, that gives you space to be strategic, to gain a little more clarity, and to build your plan.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we let you go, tell us a little bit more about divorce clarity and how it really sets you up for success, not just with your divorce, but with the next part of your life.
Well, divorce clarity starts with a values compass, right? We're taking an assessment of our values. What is most important to me? What are like my top 3 to 5 values? And look, we all have lots of values, but when do you ever articulate them out loud or write them on a list? I remember like at the beginning of the year, back in January, you were like, what are 3 things that you want to accomplish
Mhm.
a year? And I
Yep.
had it right here. I am bold, I am love, and I am fun.
Mhm.
Right? Like I wrote it down, I put it on a sticky. So if we take our values and say, I value stability, I value kindness, I value I value honesty. Those 3 things can be your grounding work that help you become clear for not just your divorce, but who are you going to be after your divorce? It helps you look ahead at your life and say, I am strong. I have created stability. I am authentically honest. And I love my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And it might be the first time that a lot of people are sitting down and writing their values out.
Yeah. So, what this is, it's values based coaching
Mm.
and it gives you the permission to slow down and to pause before you react, to cultivate your strategic curiosity, and then ask yourself thoughtful questions. Who do you need to help you answer them?
Mm.
It's not going to be one person because a life involves finances and housing and clothing and education, and all of those things may require different specialists. But if you start with a divorce coach, she can guide you. Like,
Yeah.
I like to think of myself as like the hub of a wheel that has spokes, and
Yeah.
each spoke is a different specialist who has the skills to really answer your questions.
I love that. So What do you do specifically with clients, Lisa? And if somebody's listening and thinking, this is exactly what I've been waiting for, how can they get in touch with you?
So um, I offer everyone a complimentary 30-minute consult. You tell me your story. What caused you to call me right now? And then we do an assessment of the pause. What do you need? Like, first, where are you right now? What do you need? How can I best serve you by getting you some answers? And what does that process look like? And it's very layered, but it has it has a schedule, like a curriculum. And sometimes we need that kind of blueprint in order to feel more secure. And that's what I hope I'm offering people is security that they do have someone to walk the path, to hold their hand.
I love that. Before we let you go, can you drop one of your beautiful gems on us about divorce for somebody listening who is struggling with the divorce process? What would you say to them to just kind of help them get through the day today?
So I would say, this too shall pass. So there is a phrase in Hebrew that's gam ze ya'avor, and this too shall pass. That means that there is a beginning, but you may be in the messy middle right now. And that's part of the journey. But there is another side. So, yeah, we have to go through this hard stuff, but there is another side, and that's going to be better.
I love that so much. Thank you, Lisa. We always love chatting with you. If you'd like to get in touch with Lisa, you can click the link in the show notes. You can get in touch with us and we'll connect you. And you can always go learn more about Lisa at Fresh Starts and the Expert Guide. Thanks for being here, Lisa.
And thanks for having me.
Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.